Your brain is not broken. It's actually working perfectly. That's the problem. Every night you lie awake running the same thoughts. Every conversation you replay looking for what you did wrong. Every scenario you've run 100 times before you even get out of bed. You've called it anxiety. You've called it a flaw. You've probably called yourself too much. You're not. You were built this way. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why. And why the people who can't stop thinking are the ones evolution chose to keep.
Let me paint the picture. It's 11 p.m. Everything is done. Nothing is wrong. You lie down and your brain turns on. It floods. The meeting this morning, what she meant by that look, the deadline next month, the email you forgot to send. What if it all goes wrong? What if you're not enough? You are in bed. It is quiet. There is nothing actually happening, and your brain is treating it like a war room.
You've tried to stop it. Meditation, journaling, telling yourself to just stop thinking. And it worked for about 10 minutes. Then it came back. Because here's what nobody ever told you. The problem isn't your thoughts. The problem is in your body. And once you understand that, everything changes.
Most people think overthinking is a thought problem. Too many thoughts, unnecessary thoughts, thoughts that spiral and won't stop. So the obvious fix is stop the thoughts. Meditate, clear your mind, reframe, think positive. And there are entire industries built on this idea. Millions of books, thousands of apps, all trying to help you quiet your mind through your mind. But here's the thing. Your thoughts are not the source of your overthinking. They're the symptom. The real engine, the thing actually driving the loop, is biological. It's happening below your thoughts, below your awareness, in parts of your brain that were old before language even existed.
Think about the last time something startled you. A sudden knock, a car horn, something falling. Your heart jumped before you knew what it was. Your muscles tensed before you decided to tense them. Your entire body reacted instantly, before your conscious brain had a chance to catch up. That's not a thought. That's a biological system. Fast, automatic, running completely outside your control. And that same system, that exact same mechanism, is what drives your overthinking. Your thoughts aren't causing the loop. The loop is causing your thoughts. Deep inside your brain, not in the thinking part, but in the ancient, instinctive part underneath, there's a small structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's alarm system. Its one job, scan everything all the time, and the moment something might be a threat, fire. Now, here's the key thing about this alarm system. It would rather fire 100 false alarms than miss one real threat. Because in the world your brain was built for, a world of predators and real physical danger, a false alarm cost you almost nothing. Some adrenaline, a moment of fear. A missed threat could cost you your life. So your amygdala is calibrated for maximum sensitivity. It fires early, it fires often, and it fires at anything that even looks like a threat. Including an unanswered email, including a slightly awkward silence in a conversation, including the thought, what if things go wrong? Your brain cannot reliably tell the difference between a predator and a social worry. Not symbolically, not metaphorically. Literally, the same alarm, the same response, the same flood of stress hormones, the same racing thoughts. A physical danger and an imagined one activate the exact same system. And once that alarm fires, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. Think of cortisol as your body's stay alert signal. It keeps your attention locked on the threat. It makes problems feel more urgent than they are. It primes your brain to remember every time something went wrong before. And most importantly for overthinkers, it keeps you awake. Because from your body's perspective, this is not the time to sleep. There's a threat. You need to stay alert until it's resolved. This is why overthinking is worst at night. Not because things are actually worse at night,
but because cortisol has been building quietly all day, every small worry, every moment of tension. And at night, when the distractions disappear, it's still there, still signaling, don't stop yet. You haven't resolved this.
Remember that 11 p.m. war room we talked about? This is exactly what's happening. Your amygdala is still on, your cortisol is still elevated, and your brain, because that's what a threat scanning system does, is generating thoughts, scenarios, and possibilities, looking for the thing it needs to resolve. Not because you're broken, because you're thorough. And here's one last piece of this picture, because it explains why willpower alone never works. There's a nerve running from your brainstem all the way down into your gut. It's called the vagus nerve. Think of it as the cable connecting your brain and your body. And here's the surprising part. Most of the signals on this cable travel upward, from your body to your brain, not the other way around, which means your emotional state isn't just created by your brain. It's constantly being shaped by what's happening in your body. When your body is in stress, heart rate up, muscles tight, breathing shallow, it sends signals up that cable to your brain that say something is wrong. And your brain, receiving those signals, keeps the alarm on. The loop isn't just in your head. Your thoughts and your body are feeding each other, each one telling the other, yes, keep going. Something's not right yet. That's the real overthinking loop. And understanding it, really understanding it, is the first step to working with it instead of against it. So here's the question. If the loop is physiological, if it lives in your body as much as your mind, how do you actually break it? Not by thinking harder. Not by telling yourself to calm down, because you've tried that, and your amygdala doesn't respond to reasoning. What it does respond to, what actually speaks to it in a language it understands, is your body. Remember that vagus nerve, the cable running from your brain to your body? It carries signals in both directions, which means you can send a signal upward, deliberately, consciously, to tell your nervous system that the threat has passed, that it's safe to stand down. And the most effective way to do that is almost embarrassingly simple. A long, slow exhale. Not just any breathing, specifically breathing out longer than you breathe in. When you exhale slowly, longer than your inhale, it directly activates the vagus nerve. It sends a signal up to your brain that lowers your heart rate, reduces cortisol, and begins to turn down the alarm. This isn't a relaxation trick. This is you speaking to your amygdala in the only language it actually listens to. Try it right now if you want. Breathe in for 4 counts. Breathe out for 6 or 8. That shift you feel, that slight settling, that's your vagus nerve doing its job. That's cortisol beginning to drop. That's your brain receiving the signal. The threat has passed. You can rest now. Will it silence every thought immediately? No, but it breaks the physiological loop. It gives your nervous system the input it needs to start coming down. And from there, from a slightly calmer body, your brain can do something it couldn't do a moment ago. Think clearly. The thought spiral doesn't need to be fought. It needs to be outrun, from the body up. Let's come back to 11 p.m. You're in bed. Your brain turns on. Now you know what's happening. Your amygdala, your brain's alarm system, is doing exactly what it was built to do. Your cortisol is keeping you alert the way it's kept humans alert for 200,000 years. Your body is sending signals up your vagus nerve that say, not yet, stay vigilant. None of this is broken. All of this is working. The people who couldn't stop thinking, the ones who lay awake running every scenario, who scanned the horizon even when there was nothing there, those were the people who survived, who made it through the things that caught everyone else off guard. You are not lying awake because something went wrong with you. You are lying awake because your brain is extraordinarily good at its job. The only problem is this. Your brain learned to protect you in a world that no longer requires this level of vigilance, and it doesn't know that yet. It's still out there.
Still scanning, still doing everything it can to keep you safe. You don't have a broken mind. You have a loyal one. One that never stopped trying to protect you, even when you didn't need it to. Even when it cost you sleep. Even when it felt from the inside like something had gone terribly wrong. Nothing went wrong. You were built this way. And the brain that won't let you rest tonight is the same brain that has kept you going through everything that ever tried to stop you. That's built human. A new behavior decoded every week,